so this is our music video pitch. Our chosen song is What You Know by Two Door Cinema Club. We kind of struggle to define the genre because the band do kind of convey conventions of rock and pop in the indie genre, but we did eventually decide that this video itself is indie pop, so that's what we've gone with. I'll just show you the video. So for our band, we've decided to do an all-male three-piece indie pop band. This is the same as Two Door Cinema Club, so it will enable us to have continuity with our lip syncing. As each of the band members sing within the song, we can cut between our own band members. We have decided on the name Piece of Lies for our band, as you'll like this name, and we've had sort of creative thoughts around the digipack and mise en scène, which could surround the band's name, so an image of a lion can be repeated across the different platforms through the digipack and magazine advert. Our band's costume style, I think with indie it's more of an emphasis on the music rather than what they're wearing. So it'll be quite casual, like jeans and t-shirts, which is common for the indie artists. I think our band will not only be similar to Two Door Cinema Club, but also the 1975, who throughout their new album have conveyed themes of pop through the use of pink colours and themes of love and heartache. There's some images which kind of inspiration, and that's the lion for our logo. From the questionnaire, we found that our primary audience would be males and females aged 16 to 18, and then secondary audience would be 15 to 21. Sort of an independent age group would be interested in the alternate style of music. They'd connect with the indie genre because they're at an independent stage in their life, and they would fit into the D social grade due to most of them being in education or having like a part-time job. Be interested in other bands similar to the genre like Bastille, 1975, Tom Odell, and they'd be interested, like music would be one of their hobbies, so they'd be willing to pay for paid services like Spotify and Apple Music and go to festivals and things like that.
Okay, so we had a lot of trouble with choosing our idea. We analysed performance narrative and concept videos, and we first of all was going to go with a performance narrative, but instead we decided to do a concept video. So our idea is around a man going his journey to work. He's in a car and he's singing along to the music in the car on the radio, and he's kind of imagining him, because he's always alone in the car, so he's imagining people in his car, and those people would be like businessmen, granny, farmers, like different people, and then towards the end of the video there's a bridge in the song which doesn't have any music, so we're going to use the theme of cars again. We're going to have a circle of cars around the person with like the lights flashing to the time of the music and stuff, and then at the end the last chorus is going to be the actual band in the back playing the guitars with them. And then we thought that this would, at points of our video, it would go with Goodwin's theory of cut to the beat, because at the end of each chorus there's 4 beats, and we would do a shot reverse shot of each of the different characters in the car. Okay, so we've chosen What You Know by Two Door Cinema Club because we all like the song, and we think because it doesn't have any real sort of thing, we can have more freedom in what we do, and it's quite catchy, so a lot of people it will be memorable, and we liked how it kind of fitted well, and it would be easy to cut to the beat and edit to the beat. It's a good example of indie pop because it's upbeat, but it's not so kind of, but it still has that theme of indie. And then artists that we have taken inspiration from are the 1975, because in a couple of their videos they're really good at editing to the beat, so they've done loads of different shots, like in one of their music videos they do guitar solos, so it's like cut to each separate guitar bit, and then we've also taken inspiration from Catfish and the Bottommen because we really like their ideas, because they're more of indie rock band, but they have some really cool ideas, and we liked their video Fallout, which is kind of similar because it's based in a car as well, but it's ours obviously going to be different.
For our Digipack and magazine adverts, we decided to go for a graphical style with simplistic colours and a simple logo, and we've taken inspiration from Catfish and the Bottommen's second album cover with the crocodile, and we think this is very memorable for our audience to relate the logo to the band, and we're going to use the repeated logo on our magazine Digipack, and we're going to try and incorporate it into our video. And we sort of have an idea that our band will be called Piece of Lions, just because we would like this name, and we're going to tie in a sort of lion logo into this with orange and yellow colour scheme. And some of our issues, because we're filming in a public location, one issue we have is that the sort of area will change over time, such as like cars moving, and if we're filming over several days, then different cars are in different places, and we want to try and keep our continuity to a good level, and the inconsistency of a public area with people walking in backgrounds and things like that is going to be an issue. Filming shot diversity is another issue, because we sort of looked at TV shows where they film inside cars and there's a centre camera and a 3/4 view camera, and we want to try and find as many shots as we can to keep it interesting. And
any questions?
Okay, any questions or comments for the guys?
Do you have like a location and enough cars in mind for that shot you're talking about?
So obviously in Yeovil we've got, round by Island, we've got villages, and then we've got a really busy road, and then we've got like a housing area around where I live, so there's usually like so many cars that you can't park, so that's going to be quite good. And also because it's on a straight road, you can do a lot of different shots on that same road because it's at different points of the road, which are different locations, so that can work quite well. And then for the other car scene where they're like in a circle, obviously you can't do that on a road, so we're going to either use a car park in East Coker or we're going to use the terraces as a location for that. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the health and safety of shooting in a moving car? Like if you're trying to film the driver, for example, I'm presuming it's the driver who's you're filming. If you're trying to explore, like as you said, different camera angles and stuff, you know, keeping within the laws of things like seatbelts and stuff, how are you going to like work
Well, no,
around
we've
that?
got, Dom's got a GoPro,
Okay.
which we're going to put on.
So you can
the
do mounts and
windscreen.
stuff.
Yeah, mount it there, and then we've also got, we can have a camera on the side so it can get shots of his side profile. And then we're also going to do individual shots, so we're obviously going to have to, they don't have to be moving, I know, so you can have somebody sat there, but you can take a video of them just sat there, but we've got like two of us can drive, so one can be in the back of one car filming, obviously somebody else driving, but you get what I mean. So we have thought about that sort of thing, just trying not to do that, yeah.
Okay, have you got enough, where you're saying about having the cars in a circle with the headlights, have you got enough cars that you can use for that and so on?
A number
Quite a lot of our friends.
Yeah, a number of our
Okay.
friends drive and maybe haven't. So.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Any other questions? Anybody else have any other comments or anything? Go on, Dan.
So you said like it'd be difficult to film in public because of things that change. Have you thought of like just any ways to sort of get around that?
Well, if we film it around the same sort of time, if we're doing a couple of days shooting or like several days shooting at a specific time using the day, if you can see the cars, they're always going to be parked there at that point. You can get there at that time and you'll know that they'll be still there, so it will kind of get the consistency of what we want.
Okay. As I say, otherwise you might need to kind of break up your narrative into kind of the chunks and kind of film the sections where you know you need the kind of consistency and plan it that way kind of thing. Yeah, in case there's like weather differences as well from day to day. Yeah. Okay. Lovely. Thank you very much.